Welcome back to Everyday Tech Explained. Today we are going to ditch the cloud and build our own data centers.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're diving deep into self-built NAS, and this is inspired by an Android Authority article called
Okay.
Goodbye Storage and Streaming Subs. I moved it all to my self-built NAS.
I like it.
We're at 49 subscribers, so hit that like and subscribe button to help us out.
That sounds pretty ambitious. I think a lot of people are intimidated by the idea of building their own NAS.
Right.
But this article makes it sound pretty accessible and maybe even fun.
Yeah, so break it down for us, like what exactly is NAS and why should we even consider ditching these cloud services that we're all familiar with?
Sure, so think of NAS like your own personal cloud. It's a mini server that you control. It lives in your house. You can store all your files there just like you would with like Dropbox or Google Drive.
Okay, so photos, videos, music.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense, but
Yeah.
you know, these cloud services seem pretty convenient. I mean, is a NAS really worth the effort?
Well, that's where the goodbye storage and streaming subs part comes in. So the author of this article was spending a lot of money on cloud storage, especially for family photos and videos, and it kind of got them thinking, what if I could just own my storage instead of renting it?
So it's about more than just convenience. It's about control and potentially saving money.
Exactly. Those cloud subscriptions, they seem pretty cheap at first, but they really add up over time.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's say you are on the Google 1-2 terabyte plan, right? That costs about $100 a year. So over 5 years, that's $500.
Yeah.
10 years, you're looking at like $1,000.
Wow.
All for data you don't even really own.
That really puts things in perspective. But building a NAS can't be cheap either, can it?
Well, there's definitely an upfront cost, but the long-term savings are significant. You'll have to buy hard drives. Those are like the building blocks of storage.
Yeah.
But you can get terabytes of space for less than what you would pay for a couple years of cloud subscriptions.
Wow.
And the best part is you own the drives, so you're not subject to price hikes or changes in the terms of service.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal, but doesn't building a NAS require a lot of technical expertise? I'm not really a server whiz.
It might sound intimidating, but it's actually getting more user-friendly all the time. There are pre-built NAS devices that are essentially plug and play.
Okay.
And even building your own from scratch is getting surprisingly accessible thanks to online resources and communities. Plus, you get to choose your hardware and customize it to your needs.
All right, so we've got cost savings and we've got control. But the article also hints at other cool things that a NAS can do beyond just storing files.
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. So with a NAS, it can become the heart of your digital life.
Okay.
With the right software, you can turn it into a media server, and you can stream your movies and music to any device in your home. No more relying on Netflix, Spotify, or even cable.
Wait, so I could watch all my old DVDs without even needing a DVD player?
Yeah.
And stream my music collection without having to worry about those algorithm-generated playlists?
Exactly, and because you own your media, you can organize it. However you create custom playlists, you could even share it with family and friends.
Cool.
The author even mentions using their NAS to curate kid-friendly content, so no more, battling YouTube kids.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's especially for someone like me with a massive DVD collection, just gathering dust.
Yeah.
But is streaming media from a NAS as seamless as using those big platforms?
It can be, with the right setup. You can stream high-quality video and audio to your smart TV, your phone, your tablet, without buffering issues. You can even access your media remotely when you're away from home, just like you would with a cloud service.
So it really is like your own personal cloud.
Exactly.
Okay, so far we've got cost savings, control over our data, a personalized media experience. Anything else we should add to this list of NAS awesomeness?
How about a smart home that actually respects your privacy?
Ooh, now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
But how does a NAS factor into the smart home equation?
So the article talks about this concept called self-hosting, which basically means running applications directly on your NAS instead of relying on cloud services.
Gotcha.
So you could set up something called Home Assistant, which lets you control all your smart devices locally so you know your data isn't being sent to Google or Amazon.
Wow, so a truly private smart home that is not beholden to big tech? That's a game changer.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You can self-host password managers, ad blockers, even software for your hobbies like D&D.
Really?
It's like creating your own little internet curated and controlled by you.
This is starting to sound less like a storage device and more like a digital Swiss Army knife.
Uh-huh.
But hold on, all this self-hosting sounds pretty technical. Are we talking coding skills and server configurations?
It's not as daunting as it might seem. There are user-friendly interfaces and tons of online resources to help you set things up.
Oh.
The article even mentions that the learning process can be quite rewarding, like solving a puzzle and gaining a deeper understanding of how your technology works.
I like that. I'm intrigued, but before I get too carried away, let's talk about the potential downsides.
Sure.
The article mentions ongoing costs and security concerns. Is this really a viable alternative to the cloud? Or are we just trading one set of headaches for another?
Yeah, that's a valid point. There are definitely some things to consider running a NAS. NAS does consume electricity, and you'll need a reliable internet connection, especially if you want remote access. And just like any device that's connected to the internet, security is paramount.
So there are hidden costs and potential risks, but how do they compare to cloud services? Are we really saving money and gaining control? Or is this just like a tech enthusiast's pipe dream?
That's a great question, and one that we should explore further. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of those cost security and how to choose the right NAS setup for your needs.
Sounds like a plan. We'll be right back after a quick break to unpack all those details. All right, we're back and ready to tackle those potential NAS downsides. You mentioned electricity costs and security concerns. Let's start with the energy bill. How much are we talking here?
Well, the good news is modern NAS devices are surprisingly energy efficient, especially compared to like leaving a full-fledged computer running 24/7.
Okay.
Think of it like adding, a few extra light bulbs to your house, maybe like $1 or $2 to your monthly electricity bill.
Okay, it's not bad at all. But what about the internet connection? The article mentions remote access. And I know my upload speeds are not exactly blazing fast.
Yeah, that's a key consideration for basic file access and backups. Even a modest connection will do. But if you plan to stream high-definition movies remotely, you will need decent upload speeds.
So potentially upgrading my internet plan could factor into the overall cost. Makes sense. Now let's talk security. I'm picturing hackers drooling over my precious data. How do I make sure my NAS is like Fort Knox level secure?
Great analogy, and just like a real fortress, security is multi-layered. So first things first, strong passwords and enabling two-factor authentication are essential. Treat your NAS login like your bank account. Don't use password 123.
Okay, solid advice. But what about hackers who try to break in through the internet? My networking knowledge is pretty limited.
That's where your router's firewall comes in. It acts like a gatekeeper, controlling which devices and services are accessible from the outside world.
Okay.
Most modern routers have pretty robust firewalls, but it's worth, familiarizing yourself with the settings and making sure they're properly configured.
So educate myself on firewalls. Got it. Anything else I can do to beef up security?
Regular software updates are crucial in NAS operating systems, just like your phone or computer release updates to patch vulnerabilities and improve security. Luckily, most systems have built-in update mechanisms that make this pretty easy.
Keep everything updated. That's a good rule for all tech, really.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a minute and talk about choosing the right NAS setup. The article mentions pre-built devices and DIY solutions. Where do I even begin?
Well, it depends on your comfort level and how much customization you crave. Pre-built NAS devices are kind of like buying a complete meal. They come with the hardware, the software, sometimes even hard drives all ready to go.
Sounds simple enough. But what if I want to pick and choose my components, maybe save some money or go for more power?
That's where DIY comes in. You can build your own NAS from scratch, selecting individual components like the motherboard, the processor, the RAM, and hard drives.
Right.
It's like ordering a la carte. You get exactly what you want.
Okay, I see the appeal of both options, but I'm guessing DIY is more technical, right?
Definitely you'll need some basic computer building knowledge and be comfortable navigating BIOS settings and installing operating systems. But hey, it's a great way to learn new skills.
Challenge accepted. But speaking of operating systems, I'm a bit lost. What are we even talking about here?
The NAS operating system is like Windows or Mac OS, but for your NAS.
Okay.
It's what lets you manage your files, configure users and permissions, and set up all those cool features like media streaming and self-hosting.
Okay, so the brains of the operation, are there many to choose from?
There are a bunch of great options, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. TrueNAS is known for its enterprise-grade features and stability. Open Media Vault is another popular choice, known for its user-friendly interface. And then there's Unraid, which offers a unique approach to storage management and flexibility.
Wow, this is getting deep. It's like choosing a car. You got all these different makes and models, each with its own bells and whistles. How do I know which NAS OS is right for me?
It really depends on your needs and your technical comfort level. Do you prioritize ease of use or advanced features? Do you need robust data redundancy or blazing fast performance? It's worth doing some research, reading reviews, and finding the best fit for you.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture, but let's say I've built my NAS, I've installed the OS, and I'm ready to roll. What are some of the cool things I could do with it besides just storing files? Give me some real-world examples.
Let's get into that. Remember, this is about more than just backups. It's about building your own little digital kingdom.
All right, let's fire up those imaginations you mentioned, building a digital kingdom. What kind of cool projects can we tackle with a NAS?
The possibilities are pretty much endless, but let's start with something relatable, like, remember those stacks of old DVDs and CDs just gathering dust?
Oh, yeah.
Your NAS can become a media server, and you can digitize and stream that entire collection to any device in your house.
No more disk swapping.
No more disk swapping, no more bulky players.
So it's like having my own personal Netflix,
Exactly.
well, with all the movies and music that I actually own.
Exactly. And you have complete control over the organization, create custom playlists, themed movie nights. It's all up to you.
I like it.
The author even talks about making a curated library of age-appropriate shows for their kids, bypassing the algorithm chaos of YouTube Kids.
That's a great idea. Now,
Yeah.
speaking of kids, our house is slowly turning into a smart home. But I'm getting a little creeped out by how much data these devices are collecting. Can a NAS help with that at all?
I absolutely remember self-hosting.
Yeah.
Well, with software like Home Assistant, your NAS becomes the brains of your smart home. You can control your lights, thermostat, security cameras all locally without that data being siphoned off to big tech.
Okay, that's huge for privacy-minded folks like myself.
Yeah.
But isn't setting up something like Home Assistant super technical?
It does have a learning curve, but the payoff is worth it, and there's a vibrant online community that's ready to help you. Plus, you can start small, maybe automate a few lights and then gradually expand as you get comfortable. It's like learning a new language, but for your house.
I love that analogy now, beyond media and smart homes. What are some other NAS superpowers we haven't even touched on yet?
Well, how about a password manager that's actually under your control?
Ooh.
So instead of trusting a third-party service with your most sensitive data, you can self-host a password manager right on your NAS, maximum security, no monthly fees.
Okay, that's hitting my take back control button hard. Anything else that would make me like a digital superhero?
Well, if you are tired of those pesky ads interrupting your online experience, your NAS can become a network-wide ad blocker. It can filter out those annoyances on every device in your home.
So faster browsing speeds and a cleaner internet experience. Tell me up any other hidden gems we should mention.
Yeah, for all the gamers out there, a NAS can host dedicated servers for your favorite online games. Imagine playing Minecraft or D&D with your friends on a server that you control with custom mods and rules. It's like having your own virtual game night headquarters.
This is blowing my mind. It seems like a NAS is only limited by your imagination and willingness to tinker. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap things up?
Yeah, don't be afraid to experiment and explore the world of self-build. NAS is constantly evolving with new software and possibilities popping up all the time. Start with a basic setup, get comfortable, and then let your curiosity run wild. Who knows what you might create?
That's inspiring stuff. It's like opening a door to a whole new world of digital possibilities. So, to all our listeners out there, we've explored the what, the why, and even the how of self-built NAS. What do you think about this alternative to cloud subscriptions? Are you thinking about taking the plunge and building your own digital kingdom? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Everyday Tech Explained for more deep dives into the tech that matters. We'll see you next time.